What's going on?
Crazy.
Has anyone on the podcast ever been to jail, and for what?
I have.
Logan, what'd you go to jail for? I think we talked about this, didn't we?
We did. I can tell it again.
What'd you do again? You're shoplifting?
Well, no, I got accused of shoplifting. Okay. And then, so the story is I put myself in a bunch of shit with tickets and not paying anything because I was young and stupid. And I got away with it once, twice, three. Then I was like, I can get away with it forever. So it got to the point where I was 2 weeks out from Nationals in 2019, walked across the street to Walmart to get some food. And as I was leaving, they started yelling for me to stop because they said I was shoplifting. They said I was stacking chicken on top of each other and standing in the self-checkout.
Yeah.
So then the cop had to like put me in cuffs because they got accused of shoplifting until they checked the receipt.
Yeah.
So once they checked it, he came back and said, hey, man, you're good. We just got to check your IDs or anything on there. I was like, nope. He ran it and I had a warrant out for my arrest, which I had no idea about. So then I got in jail. I was in there for like 4 days, I believe.
4 days for not paying speeding tickets?
Yeah, well, it's because the warrant was for a failure to appear because of a speeding ticket. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I never got a letter in the mail to appear in court. So whenever I got to the court, the judge literally looked at me. She goes, well, that happens.
That was 4 days.
So I'm in jail because of y'all's fuck up?
Jeez. How was 4 days in jail?
It actually wasn't bad at all. Met some really good people.
You're the only person. You're the only person.
I'm not even joking. This is how quickly I adapted to it. I literally started selling workout plans for food.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. It's a good plug.
You were hustling.
I was.
So were you like?
Go ahead.
So you were like the guy from Shawshank Redemption, but instead of taxes, you were writing workouts.
Yo, literally. So look, I came the next morning because I got in there around like 3 a.m. The next morning, some random dude comes to my cell and goes, hey man, you're the bodybuilder that just got in here? And I was like, yeah. So then they started asking me workout plans. I was like, well, what do you have?
Workout plan, bro.
That's literally the fucking Shawshank Redemption story all over
Went from there. I had food though.
How was the food there?
So I don't know if it's because I was 2 weeks out or not, but it wasn't that bad.
It's because you're 2 weeks out.
Yeah, it had to be.
Everything's good when you're 2 weeks out.
Yeah, it was to me, it was delicious.
Did you do the show?
No.
Oh, so you just like that?
I was going to when I got out. My court appearance was the day of the show. But at the time, I told my coach, I was like, fuck this. I did not put all this work in just to miss this fucking show. I was like, this happens every year. Some shit happens every year. And he was like,
some warrant for my arrest happens every year.
I go to jail every fucking year.
Same old shit.
Do another one,
Yeah.
No, but I wound up not doing it because, well, it was a smarter choice not to do it.
Brett, have you ever been to jail?
I haven't. I'm close, but got lucky.
What was close?
One time, I think I was 19. I don't know anything I've really told anyone this story, but now everybody will know. But I was like 19. I drove home like from a buddy's house at like 2 a.m. We'd been drinking. I think we went to a Snoop Dogg concert. There's a Snoop Dogg concert. I don't know. We went and like drinking, and we ended up at my buddy's house. Where I was from originally, we were out in the boonies, like out countryside. I lived like a mile away, so I thought I could just drive home. Like probably had done it many times before. Just country roads. You see maybe one deer on the way home, whatever. So I drive, and I shouldn't have been obviously just drunk like an idiot. It was a good learning lesson, like good life lesson here. Yeah. And then I ended up. I was texting, of course, like an idiot. I was texting, drunk, driving. Yeah. And I ran pretty much what happened to Ben right there. I ran into a bridge. I was going over a bridge and I just ran right into the side of it. Just fucking, I don't remember, all of a sudden I come to, my tire's like off. I'm not moving. And I'm like out in the middle of the countryside. And this like farmer comes, like he must have heard it. And he came walking up, saw I was okay. I'm like, fuck. And the funny thing is I'm like 400 yards from my house, from where my parents live. Yeah. So I was in college and I was just back for the summer. Yeah. So like 400 yards, I'm like, what am I gonna fucking do? Like I'm freaking out. So that guy called the cops or whatever. The cops show up, and I'm like, I just live up the street. And so like I called my parents, and they just walk down, come find your drunk son like in this big wreck. Yeah. And so anyway, like they put me in the car. They put me in the cop car, and they're out talking to my parents, and I'm in there, I'm like, I'm almost on tears. I'm scared. Like what's going to happen? So I was on my way to college to play football. So like, it was like football is about to start. I was about to leave to go there. So this cop gets back into the car, and it's just me and him. And he starts talking shit to me. He's just like, so real quick, he's talking shit saying, you're never going to play football again. He's like, you disappoint your family. You're not going to college. You're going to jail tonight. So I'm in there. I'm crying. I start crying. I'm in the back of this car just fucking crying like my career's over. You know, I'm never going to play football. And then he goes, turns around, he goes, get the fuck out of the car. We'll go home with your parents. And I just
Holy
like, okay.
fuck.
And I just walk out and walk 400-yard walk with my disappointed parents, because they're great. They're great people. I don't ever disappoint. It felt like I was walking for 2 hours, you know, just that disappointed feeling. And honestly, like after that, you know, I got my shit straight. I'm like, I'm not drinking and driving, but I got lucky there for sure.
Did your parents tell the cop to scare you, or did he just fucking take it upon himself to treat you like shit for a minute?
I don't think they would have done that, but like he probably brought it up and they were like, yeah, do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it fucking
crazy.
worked, man. I was shitting my pants.
Yeah. Ian, ever been to jail?
Been in jail, no.
Why did you decipher that? Was it?
Well, I've been in trouble, but I've never been to jail.
Oh, okay.
I got a funny one, I guess, is kind of like along Brett's lines, but not really. I remember one when I must have been like 14, 15. So me and my best friend lived next door to me when I grew up. His parents during the summer would go to the cottage for like weeks at a time. He was old enough at this point. It was like 13, 14, whatever. They're like, you know, we're going for the weekend. You can stay home kind of thing. So he was home. They had 2 cars. So his parents drove in one car and left the other car there. Now they were gone for like weeks, and we're like 14, 15, have no driver's license. And we just drove the car around for weeks as if it was like our car. We'd drive to the gym. We'd go to friends' houses on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then one night we were out like, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes from home, like hanging out kind of like in a skate park parking lot. And we were just like chilling with some friends. Like a couple of them were drinking, smoking pot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty late and a cop drove by and then backed up again and then like shined a spotlight on us. And we're like, fuck, everyone's throwing their weed in the forest and shit. So then they came by and asked everyone like for their driver's license and their IDs. And obviously no one had driver's license. So then they threw us in the car and brought us home. But then they tried to get a hold of his parents and they couldn't at the cottage.
Yeah.
So then my mom was like, what the fuck you guys doing? They just drove us back to our house and she had to
Go get the car.
she had to go get the car with the cops. And then we got a fine, but I didn't get like any charges or anything. You know?
Did your mom beat your ass?
She just thought we were fucking stupid. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, if you hit somebody with no insurance, she's like, you fuck your life up. What are you doing? You know?
Yeah, that would have been crazy. I did a whole bunch of shit like that with fucking cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I fucking stole my parents' car a bunch of times, stole my brother's cars. I couldn't help. I just wanted to drive ever since I was like 12.
Yeah.
I went to jail once for one night for fighting. I sent the guy to the hospital because he touched Summer.
Nice.
I just blacked out. He put his hand on her and I blacked out.
And just fucked him up.
I don't even know if I fucked him up that bad. I think I more like choked him out than anything.
Yeah.
But he ended up going to the hospital, or at least the ambulance came for him anyway. And then the cops took me to jail for being, I think I just got like I think it's because I was super fucking drunk plus fighting. But I remember them taking my shoelaces and shit. And I'm like, that's what you're like. They put me in the drunk tank first, just like a little like cell by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being in cuffs and I think I was like 290 or 300 at the time. It was the most excruciating pain ever. My shoulders felt like they were
your shoulders must be killing.
Oh,
I was in this little cell screaming, like, get me out of here. Fuck this is, take these fucking cuffs off me at least. Like I was just screaming all this shit because it was just the pain was so bad. They didn't give a fuck. They took my shoelaces, threw me in there and they left me there with the cuffs on.
I'm surprised they kept the cuffs on.
They kept the cuffs on until I saw
double cuff you. You need to be double cuff.
Yeah. Right. Like the two, that's what I would think. But so, I don't know how it felt like I screamed for 4 or 5 hours, but it was probably like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But they let me scream myself out. And then they came in after I was done like screaming and yelling for them. Then they came in and took the cuffs off me and threw me in another cell. And then they gave me a burger, which was delicious. And
at least you got a burger.
I know it was good. It was like one of those cafeteria burgers. It was fucking
shit. I got none of that.
And
like
then
burger.
yeah, exactly. And then they fucking sent me home at like 6 a.m. They're like, hey, get the fuck out of here. They didn't press any charges. I think because a friend knew one of the cops.
Yeah.
So, but that was, I don't know how people do extended periods. It was the worst fucking thing in the world. Like, I never, ever, ever want to get in trouble for fucking and go to jail. It's like,
It's a control thing, you know. You have no control.
Yeah.
It's like
I just
I,
don't
I
like-
would I would lose it.
yeah, just being in that box is like, this is insane. Like, I know people have been to jail for a long time, and they talk about it like it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
Yeah, some
guess,
of my good friends have spent like 5, 6, 7 years in prison. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, I guess
You get used to it.
you get it. Like people can get used to anything, right? Like, it's amazing what we can get used to. But I don't know, man. I couldn't imagine. So
It also depends like what kind of prison you're in, you know? Like if you're in like, you know, a min security, like for some kind of
yeah,
stupid shit where you probably like are still fucking like using your cell phone and like
Yeah.
watching UFC on weekends, you know, versus like
Yeah.
someone that's like in hardcore like max security, you know?
but for me, it's not like having amenities or anything like that. It's just being stuck.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Yeah. This is silly. For watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.